Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. Hope you are all doing well. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and of course hit that notification bell. I hope you are all now alive to the fact that the manager is not the problem here when it comes to players coming in the door. My man has called them out on about 4 separate occasions just in that press conference alone. He has been telling them about players leaving since January, Rutter specifically being one of them. He talked about us having money. He spoke about telling the scouting department about players leaving, and we've still not got replacements in the door. He has thrown the gauntlet down on a number of occasions, yet still people want to bucket them up the same and not even discuss the 49ers. HMS pissed the league, we're told, getting the C. Honestly, he's not the problem here. And as I've said to you before, yeah, you can't... Look, you can blame what's going on the pitch, that's fine. That's fine. But what I'm saying is... He's had the rug pulled out from underneath him and continues to have it pulled out from underneath him. These are the facts. What a line. I can't go by myself alone with my wallet and just buy anyone. You know? Honestly, it stinks. I can't stand him. And yet still people are like, well, yeah, but... Like, there's so much that he said in there where he's like just continuously throwing in a good way of going back and saying like, come on, do something, you know? And still people want to criticise this man over them because, you know, it's almost like they're in bed with the 49ers at this point. I can't lie to you. I still don't understand it. I cannot. There was a lot said. There was a lot said for me, Joe. There was a lot said for me. A lot said, and we'll get into it. But yeah, yeah, not my fault, FC. Why always me, FC? Why always me, FC? Do you know what I mean? It stinks for me. It stinks, FC. Love it. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they don't give him what he's asked for. Then it definitely wouldn't surprise me. Not great at all for me. Just some of the said. Like he even said, he pulled out the Elvis line. A little less conversation, more action. He said this. It's a little less conversation, a little more action, baby. All this aggravation and satisfaction, me. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Do you know what I mean? My God. We'll get into it. We'll get into it. And for those that say chat's drivel, that's totally fine. But my point is, he can't exactly just come out and go, the 49ers are selling me out here. He's done it in a way that works, you know. They didn't cut it short, mate. They always have the embargoed line. But yeah, I like that as well. Yeah. They were brilliant, weren't they, in the cage? Yeah. You can see. We'll get into it. Well, of course he did. I didn't want to lose him. They doubled the money. That's just, you know, and probably promised him a player. You know, we'll get rid, but we'll get someone in. You know, yeah, they do it after every press conference, Jack. Yeah, they always have an embargo section, which is just for like Sky Sports or whatever. Yeah. What's the crap? We'll go through it. We'll go through it. People calling for Rads back. The person. No, yeah, definitely not. Yeah, a little less conversation, a little more action, baby. Well, this is the point, Dan, isn't it? This is the point. This is what I've said. It's like, if they don't give him the tools, they can't sack him, really, because they've not given him the tools. Not great for me. Please do smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and, of course, hit that notification bell. We'll go through what's been said throughout the press conference, but there was loads in there for me that I mean, maybe I'm looking at it with a different eye because I'm very critical towards the 49ers currently, and people might have seen things different to me, but I can only go on what I'm saying. You know, he even said a line about having cash there But then also mentioned limited resources as well. And I think that's in response to, like, look, we can't replace, like a Jorginho Rutter for someone who's going to be like for like. It's just impossible, isn't it? I don't think it was, though, mate. I don't think it was. It definitely wasn't. I mean, some of the questions that were getting asked were very good from Popey, from Graham, that are difficult to answer. Difficult to answer because ultimately the 49ers pay his wages. You know what I mean? They pay his wages, but yeah, look, we might have players in the door, who knows? We've been linked to a few today, Hannibal, and we were going to do a separate stream on that, but I just thought we'd wait. Hannibal and Roland Salai. These are two players that have been linked today. We'll touch on them during this one as well. But yeah, we'll go through it. We'll go through it. Yeah, it was really good. Some really good questions, actually. And again, it felt like to me the gauntlet was being thrown down on the board. But we'll get into it. So first of all, he was asked on the start to the season. Obviously, we know it's been poor. He said overall, we know after a loss of many clear players, it's a bit of a rebuild, which is on at the moment. We had the disappointing outcome in the Carabao Cup. It was internally that day that it was confirmed the exit clause of Rutter. We risked the game in terms of too many rotations for that game, which I don't agree with, because, like I say, the opposition made 7. The opposition made 7, so it is what it is. We got the feeling we needed to do it at this moment. I think we can live that we won't win the Carabao Cup this season, which is what a lot of fans say, right? It's like, yeah, we're not gonna win it. Let me just give Joe a right to reply. Thought decent questions up, but felt he didn't say anything. He hasn't already. Thought someone would bring up 49ers and George's deal, but I thought we got the same answers. But defending himself, like he's defending his position in that. I think we can live with it. I'll give you my take on it anyway. It says, I think we can live with it that we won't win the Carabao Cup. Apart from that, it's a new group. Pre-season was perfect, 5 wins, impressive wins. And we've started in the league with 2 draws. I think away at West Brom, a draw and a clean sheet is a really good result, which is what he played for. And I know it was stinking, but you could sort of tell that it was a lot more compact and a lot more deeper than normal. He said, we are disappointed with just a draw against Portsmouth. And again, this is where it feels like deja vu to me. Because he says, performance-wise, it was just one of those days. Sadly, we only scored 3 and should have scored 7 or 8, if I'm honest. And that's why after that game, I said it's like deja vu, because I've heard that line before. We heard it all last season as well. It was quite interesting to hear Graham Smith say at the end of the press conference, does this feel like deja vu? Of which, if you go back to my Portsmouth, I got absolutely caned for. It's good to see so many people getting on board with that now, including the journals. But hey-ho. He was asked about the rebuild. He said, we've had many exits that definitely affected us. We've lost many key players, best player in the league, best young player. We definitely need to bring in a few players. There's still a lot of work to do, and that's when he pulled out the line, a little less conversation, a little more action, baby. And I think, again, that's, he was probably saying that about himself, like, I need to stop talking about it to you guys and we need to see action, and that's the only way fans are going to be have their expectations or not their thoughts quelled, because I think if we were to do a poll across the majority of the fan base, a lot would be critical of the current ownership. We can't get away from that fact. He was then asked specifically on Jorginho and said, listen, we were so close with 90 points in the playoff final to get promoted last season. We knew if we kept this squad, we had a great chance to go up this year. But of course, we've not kept that squad, and he said we have to accept many losses of players. It's hard for the manager. I've invested so much work with Archie, Georgie and Cree and all the others. I'm a bit proud we were able to work with them and create value for the club, but I'd have preferred if they stuck with us. He says no one is to blame for this. Contracts are contracts, and a legal point of view. But again, I see that as a switch from sins of the past, when it was sins of the past, and now with the Rutter deal, it's like, no one's to blame for this. Well, they are, really. They are. Someone's to blame for it. Someone's got to kick the can, you know what I mean? And I just noticed that difference in wording, which is what my mate said to me last week, which I didn't really pick up on. But it's gone from sins of the past to no one can be blamed for these contracts. Why is it? Because the current ownership had an issue with it, or had an involvement in it. But he says these contracts were agreed a long time ago, and if exit clauses are met, they're met. When there's a chance to play in the best league in the world, it's not easy. They had a big indication within the club. Of course, we knew. And, he was asked about, well, why didn't you do something about it? Because, you knew months ago, and obviously, Graham asked a question later on about, the first bid coming in and why nothing was done at that time, which we'll get to in a second. But then he was asked if he was caught by surprises. Farker, on whether he was being caught by surprise on signings. Like, did he expect this? Did you expect you'd be in this position? Because I know us as fans didn't, right? Us as fans didn't believe that. Harley, who are you saying that to, pal? Who are you saying that to, pal? Don't speak like that, please. Again, because you'll be blocked if you speak like that. Because that's... Yeah, anyway, I don't need to tell you again. Just don't do it, please. Whether or not he was being caught by the surprise, because I think a lot of us were as well. Like, I think a lot of us expected us to be in a much better position. Why? Well, at the end of the day, we were told that by the ownership, right? We were told that by the ownership that we'd have a 5-week head start, that we'd be ahead of the game, that the Red Bull investment would be the difference between, having to sell and keep a player, etc. So, of course, I know we as fans were taken by surprise. So it's right, and I think by Popey to ask the question, were you caught by surprise? And he says, if you asked me a year ago, yes, in a good way, because the value of Archie and Georgie has increased so much. Or Glenn Kamara, who was out of favour at Rangers. We had to stick to the rules. We knew this after not being promoted. We needed some earnings. We needed to bring some words in, right? We needed to bring some money in, and he says our hands were tied by the... Just 1 second. Folks, if Mr. Taxi Music wants to boycott, leave him. No need to delete that. If he wants to say boycott, let him boycott. It is what it is. If I can concentrate on the stream instead of the chat and moderators, that'd be great. It's been happening a lot lately. Please. So Glenn Kamara was out of favour at Rangers. We have to stick to the rules. We knew this after not being promoted. He said we needed some earnings, i.e. we needed to sell players, which we were aware of. We probably knew some of them would go. Probably knew even Nonto would go, even though it looks like he's would stay. But I don't think any of us expected as much of an exodus. Yeah, I think we all thought maybe we could keep Graham Rutter. I know I did. The rest, boom, be tough. We needed some earnings. Our hands were tied with exit clauses. We're working now for a few weeks to find good and affordable solutions. It's on the table what we want to do. As a manager, you want to get things done sooner rather than later. He wants them in the door, right? We know what is necessary, and I'm used to working with limited resources. Why have we got limited resources? This is the point. This is the point that we have to talk about. There shouldn't be limited resources. Regardless of the debt that we've got to pay and all that, there's still enough to get players through the door and make this a competitive top 2 chasing, promotion chasing squad. Have to. So for him to say, the big... Right, I get it. Listen, I don't want to sound shady here, but I get it for Norwich. They were under limited resources. We should not be. We should not be. We have made the most in world football in terms of sales. No one has matched us. Now, we're not... We understand. We understand as a fan base. We're not expecting you to go out and spend all that money. We know you can't. We know you can't. But ultimately, you shouldn't have limited resources. Define limited, it's all relative. Well, limited to me and the football club, but what he's saying there is that, I don't know what your angle is with that. If you're saying, oh, well, maybe we are, but, maybe we're rich and limited resources. What do you mean? Like, we're not signing players. We've made a lot of money. We shouldn't have any limited resources. We shouldn't have any. Not in my opinion. Not in my opinion anyway. Not by any stretch of the imagination. So, yeah, he said, I'm used to working with limited resources. I'm not crying here saying make my life easier. But he needs to have his life made easier. I can't lie. Look at the state of the bench. West Brom had a better bench than us. That's happened regardless of what you think of his tactics and that, right? But the season started 11 days ago, and in that time, West Brom have got better options off the bench than us. These are the facts. And what I would hope, yeah, if this kit comes out tomorrow, do not buy it. Do not buy it. I know people will, but I won't. I will not. And I said to myself last season, I did not buy one piece of memorabilia, and I let them get me. I let them get me with the smiley badge. I can't lie to you. But I'm not giving them, they're not getting it. They're not getting my money. And I know me that won't have any dent whatsoever. But yeah, minging. Especially when, look, we've now got the smallest squad. We had the smallest squad anyway. You take Rutter out, it's even smaller and lesser quality. And this has all happened within 11 days. Look at the squad pre-Portsmouth to now. It's night and day. It's night and day. He's not the problem here, Rosemary Beads. He's not the problem, I promise you. Well, for me anyway. No, they're not one and the same. When the window's shut, if they've given him the tools and we continue with these poor results, Louis, yes. This is where I'm stuck between a catch-22, a rock and a hard place. It's not, bro. It's not for me. No, it's not. No, definitely not. I'm not going to sit here and sit on my emotions for this time, for all that time. Imagine none of us had an avenue to vent. We'd be going out of our fucking mind. Exactly right. So that's where I'm at. I'm not getting anything. And I feel like this is the case, I feel like this is the case. No, you haven't said that. This not happened. Yeah. That's not happened, has it? You're lying to me. You're lying to me. Nice one, though. You nearly got me. See, this is the best line. This is the best line. And anyone who's telling me that he's the problem here when he's taking shots like this, then, you're aiming it at the wrong man. This was his line, direct, verbatim. Daniel Farker said he told Leeds United recruitment department to get working on a Rutter exit scenario in January. We've not signed anybody. We don't even look to be close to getting his replacement. It's like we didn't even know. Like, he's literally said that. It's mad. So the manager's been telling the scouting department about a possible exit since January. We should have had that player in the door before he exited. Or at least close. I don't think he would lie, though, would he? Because then the club would go, well, why are you lying? What's that done for the recruitment department? Where is all our blame now going? It's coming away from Farker. It should be anyway. I mean, it was for me anyway, but it's coming away from Farker to the ownership and now to the scouting department. And he's done that with that line. So he can't just go lying on the name, because then they'll be like, what's all that about? Because if I look at the responses to that, clowns running the club, they obviously aren't backing Farker. Then why aren't we still with that replacement? Utter fraudsters. Wow, they have absolutely no excuses. Yet here we are, pathetic. They must have been deaf. Unbelievable. What have they been doing? So all that now has gone straight onto the ownership and to the scouting department. So you can say he's like lying or whatever, but not for me, because why say it? Because he'd get battered for that now. He'd come off and go, what are you doing, Daniel? He's definitely, for me, definitely taking shots and has been now and it's got progressively worse. It's but not like him going, they're taking the piss. I know you are, Damar. I know, bro. And that's what it's good for, right? It's good to have a difference of opinion and have a chat about that. But for me, if you think about when he first mentioned limited resources and we lost our head, and then as it's gone on, he's took more and more shots, indirect shots to those above. And today was an even bigger shot. That's why I'm surprised that people say there wasn't much in there. For me, there was. Because he's taking indirect shots at them. You know, especially that line. Like, I told them in January. It's like I told them in January. Like, what are they doing? You know, think of it like, I don't know, you might have to pay something, you know, a bill or whatever, and your partner goes, I ain't got no money. Well, I told you back last month that you had to save some money because we got this bill coming out. Do you know what I mean? He told them. He's saying, I told them. In a roundabout way, I told them in January to be prepared for this, and they've still not. And we've still not got a player in the door. He's already admitted we won't have anyone for Friday, which we know anyway, I guess, but a little less conversation, a little more action, baby. Yeah, they do. But they won't, will they? Hidden away, it is what it is. Right, okay, so has he been caught by surprise? He says, you know, I'm not crying here, saying making my life easier. I know we'll need to play the next game without any new signings. Right now, we have maximum 1, perhaps 2 games without the support of new signings. So he's saying, right now, we could have 2 games without new signings. Right now, we have maximum 1, perhaps 2 games without the support of new signings. Or maybe he's talking about the last game in this, because it better not be 2, because the next game's on the 31st, which is the Saturday. You know? Yeah, Dan, Graham was bob on. Quality. Great. He's come back off his holiday, give us a transfer link, and also really pressed on the question, so I rate that. Big up to Graham Smith. But he says, right now we have maximum 1, perhaps 2 games without the support of new signings. I'm assuming he means the last game, which was the stinking draw against West Brom, and obviously the next game, because he can't mean Hull, because that's on the 31st and the window shuts on the 30th. Here we go. I've heard this, Andrew. I've heard this all the way throughout the window. That's what everyone told me. That's what everyone's been saying. You're overreacting, deja vu, what you on about is game 1. Oh, they're not going to tell us the tactics. Or they do this so everyone knows they've got no money. Or they're doing this so they don't know about exit clauses and all this sort of stuff. Well, ultimately, whatever tactic they were doing and whatever tactic you think they are doing, they've ballsed it. Because everyone knows we've got loads of money now and we need players and players quick. So whatever tactic they thought they were doing, they need to go back to the tactics board. Because it hasn't worked. At all. So, that's my opinion on that tactic. It's shit, is what it is. It's almost as bad as the tactic deployed against West Brom, you know? Because whatever tactic they did have in mind, it hasn't worked. Because now, if I'm a club and Leeds come knocking, well, we know you've made the most in the country and you're desperate for players. We'll have a bit more, please. Oh, but I'm Parag and I did these tactics in my sleep and I thought you would accept lower amount because you'd be... No, Parag. Not why always me FC. Basically, we know that you've sold all these players. You've made the most money in world football and you need players. So come on, pay up. That's ultimately what'll happen. But I said this and I did that. It's bullshit. Why always me FC? Why always me FC? There we go. There he is. Parag Marathi. Parag Razani. A little less conversation, a little more action, baby. Yeah, so that was that one. Farker on backing from the board. So he was asked about, backing from the board. He says, I don't want to cry for sympathy, because he said, look, and this is where I like, where he actually said, look, don't feel sorry for me. Don't feel sorry for me because I'm paid a lot for what I do. Because I think the question was framed as in like, at the end of the day, Daniel, you've got all this money for the 49ers and you're not getting out in return. That's basically where the questioning was thrown at him, in terms of like, you've increased the value of Gray, increased the value of Rutter, Somerville, etc., and you're getting nothing in return. And he said, I don't want to cry for sympathy. I'm also highly paid for developing the players. I'm fully committed, and it was a difficult season last season. I wanted to bring stability and values. In my head, I had thoughts who would be key players this season. I spoke in recent weeks how much I trust our board to be there with good decisions. Yes, I'm optimistic, but at the moment, actions are needed more than words. No one wants to hear I'm confident and optimistic, and we will do that in the next days. Do you know what I mean? He's saying, like, you're sick of hearing about it now. He was asked about the squad size, because obviously we know the squad size is really, really lacking at this moment in time. And he said we have a very young group and amongst the smallest numbers in the league. In these 19 first team players, we have a lot of guys who haven't played a lot of matches. We know that stat, right? There's 13 players within the squad that have had, less than 10 games or whatever it was. I can't remember LUFC data stat now off the top of my head, but it don't read great, that's what I'll say. Archie was a talent you have once every 30 years, which we sold for next to nothing, in my opinion, and got 10 million thrown the other way by Joe Rodon, but hey-ho, people don't want to hear it. So we can expect the young players to do this. We can't expect them to do that regularly every season. We know we need some experience. Quality is the main topic than the character of player. And I need experienced lads around. I'm grateful we have a few experienced players by age, like Bamford, Byron, Rothwell. We need quality, personality, and a bit of experience in a few positions. Because we know as well, like, what's quite interesting is Ethan Ampadu did an interview with the BBC and was basically saying, we need more characters, we need more characters. He's saying that as well, a player, So he needs experience and a lot more quality in a few positions, which we can all agree of. I'm quite surprised at some takes like that I saw was like, so does that mean we have to have the best in class for every single position in order for us to do well? No one's saying that. We had the best in class and it didn't go well. But we're leaving a guy to go fucking build a shelf without hammer and nail, you know what I mean? We might give you, I don't know, give you some screws and a hammer. You know what I mean? It's going to make your job a lot harder, Apparently charging over 50 for Hull bloody at home, crazy man. What do you mean over 50? 50 quid for a ticket, Hannah? 50 quid for a ticket? Don't say that's true, because then they really need it. Where's that? Is this true? Do you know what happened to the optimism? You know what happened, man. You know what happened. Everyone's saying I've froze. Has it? Can you hear me though, yeah? Right. Give me a sec. Am I back? Am I moving again? Let's have a look. Is it moving again? Is it moving again? Nah, it doesn't look to be moving. Still sound, but camera's not moving. I'm sleeping like Parag. 49ers are after me, man. Right, 1 second. I'm going to have to turn... Hopefully you can... hopefully it's sorted now. Let's have a look. It looks like it's frozen on me, doesn't it? Can you hear me still? Oh, this is a nightmare. Been busted, I know. Can you hear me still there, like, or not? Yeah, you can. You just can't see me, can you? What the fuck? Right, give me 1 second, yeah? Damn 49ers! Hopefully this is better. Hopefully you can hear me and see me all right now. We'll have a look. Yeah, man, we're back. I just had to reboot it. Sorry about that, folks. You can't get me, Niners. You can't get me. You can't get me. All back. As a Liverpool fan, I understand your situations. No signings and completely beaten by... Well, John Henry, I said before when the skin FSG... Necromancer says he thinks he's on to something. He knows Jack like all of us. On to something about what? About what, bro? Does that mean you don't agree with my decision? I haven't said anything. I'm giving you my opinion. That's what you've come for. You know? That's it. I don't know why you sat watching. Do you know what I mean? Joe, you disappeared as fast as my optimism. Yeah, that's what we were talking about, weren't we? We were talking about the optimism and how in the space of 11 days it's gone. It's gone. You know what I mean? So, yeah, more or less. Anyway, moving on. Farker on team news. He mentioned Max Vob as a doubt. Is it genuinely £50 a ticket? £50 a ticket, man. That's mad. Innit? For Hull City. Mental. £50.50. I hope people's going mad about that. £50, man. Anyway. Mental. Did you get a deal done in that sleep? I did, bro. I did. Someone's coming in. Anyway, we move. Right, let's get into it. Let's go back to some of these comments. So, more or less, the only doubt is Max Vober with his calf. We've had to take him out as training. It's a late decision. Listen, Max Vober's turning it in. Max Vober's turning it in. That's where he's at. We'll be highly motivated Friday night, Yorkshire Derby. We will show togetherness and spirit and be prepared for this and bring our strengths into the game. I like a lot our defending at West Brom, but to add a bit more quality with the ball. So it almost feels like, you know, he sort of played for that point for me. He played for that point. Yes, I'd love Rooney Badaji from Copenhagen, but that's not happening, man. The guy's a Vunder kid, and I think he got injured. But yeah, Voba's a bum. Get him out. Get him sold. I genuinely won't mind him getting sold, to be honest, even if it's less than the whatever money they want. Just get him on his bike and bring someone else on, because he's just turning it in. Graham Smith says deja vu, you know, and then he obviously spoke on you know, him having to field the questions. He's having to field the questions that really the 49ers should be having to answer, and he mentioned he's okay to be a shield, etc. That's part of his job, innit? In England, that's what happens, obviously. Elsewhere, like Andreas spoke on it before, places like Italy and stuff, the sporting directors have to come out and do interviews and have to speak. I'd love them to do that in England, but they're protected over here. It shouldn't be Daniel having to ask these questions, right? Somerville Rutter, don't give him your money for that third kit. Don't give him your money for that third kit. That's what I'd say, because I'm not. I can get in the sea. I quite like the look of it as well, to be fair, but nah. Not a month ago, Jack. Not a month ago. Back in January, bro. January. January. He said it January. But again, a month ago when bids came in and we've still not seen a replacement, man. Mental. So, yeah. He mentioned about having a month ago to prepare because obviously the first bid came in and stuff. But he said, I'm the face of the club. I have to speak for the club. My topic is to defend the club. It's always the same. Everyone is blaming us, and at this moment you have to stick together as Leeds United, us against the world. Yeah, crack on. I'm here to bring the stability and adapt to the reality. Everyone knows what we have to do to be competitive. We all would have preferred to keep our best players. There was a little exodus, you could say, which you can tell. I don't think he expected it. I genuinely don't think he expected it. There was a little exodus, you could say. He wasn't prepared for an exodus. It's always better if you can build a squad step by step, but we have to adapt to a new reality. Again, a new reality. Wasn't expecting what's happened. So, not only is he throwing down the gauntlet as well, he didn't expect what's happened. He probably didn't even know about some of these fecking clauses. He told us when he got the job he didn't know. Wouldn't surprise me if he didn't know about them this summer as well. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, for him to say there was a little exodus, it's always better if you can build step by step, but we have to adapt to a new reality. Yeah. I'm here to answer the questions and I don't want to hide behind them. I made it clear several times. Again, he's taking shots at the board. I made it clear several times. I want to bring this club to the Premier League and I know we need the best possible squad. I'm the first one who's demanding quality, but in my role to be there for a club like a Shield. He understands that. And he's mentioned about making it clear several times that these players could go. He spoke about January. Farker, honestly, on replacing Jorginho, we know we can't replace him like for like. We know this, right? But he said, I've asked everyone who is working on this topic to prepare months ago for this scenario when I was aware of exit clauses. So he was aware of them months ago, okay? So fair enough. So he was aware of them months ago. And I've asked everyone who is working on this topic to prepare months ago, right? Georgie is pretty unique the way he plays. When he shows his quality and potential, he can be an extraordinary player. I think it was perhaps not realistic 5 months ago to think about this, but since January, I urged everyone in our scouting department to be prepared to play without Rutter and Somerville. We've not brought anyone in them positions. So that tells me they've not prepared. He said, I've urged them to work on this not just a few weeks ago, but several months ago. Last time we signed a player, was Jayden Bogle. And again, I'll reiterate that line. I've urged them to work on this not just a few weeks ago, but several months ago. One thing is to work on the replacement, the other is to bring it over the line. Again. One thing to work on the replacement, now bring it over the line. So, months ago, he went to him and said, we need to work. I mean, they should be doing it anyway. You should always have replacements lined up, right? This is why Brighton are as good as they are, because they're always on to the next one. Same with a manager. One guy leaves, another one walks through the door. Like that, like clockwork. They're already aware of their probably next 5 managers, them folks. Do you know what I mean? So, goes to them, we need to work on this. He's even said, and again, anyone who don't think he's taking shots, for me, that is, I've urged them to work on this not just a few weeks ago, but several months ago. Then also says, one thing's to work on the replacement, now to get it over the line. So are they not getting them over the line? We didn't get them over the line in January. We've seen a few players we've been linked with this summer that have not gone over the line and have gone elsewhere. Your likes have you not gone yet, but Johnny Rowe, etc. It's mad. It's mad, and very frustrating for me. Because I think it's probably my own fault, because I allowed myself to whip myself into a frenzy, but I know I wasn't the only one, but I thought we were going to dick the league. He's even said himself, it's like he's had to rethink. He's had to rethink it, I've just received a message, which, again, you can take with a pinch of salt. But third kit was due to be launched online this morning, hence why we've probably seen a lot of these clips, right? These clips, and available to buy tomorrow. Now they want to try get a deal done first because of all the shit at this moment in time and all the shit under any post they make because they have to keep hiding things on social media. I mean, I'm not one for that in the club. But that, again, that could be BS. But I can only go on the person that's telling me. But yeah, apparently could have been released this morning with a view to buy tomorrow. Because, of course, it's not him, the man. That's not the case. Because, of course, we play on Friday. So you buy Thursday, you get it ready for Friday. Do you see what I'm saying? We play on Friday, and by all accounts, we're going to be playing in this third kit. So it tells you the optics. Imagine if they would have released it this morning. What would have happened? Because I've already said it. I'm not doing it. I'm not buying it. Fuck that. People will, and that's fine. But it would make sense for them to release it online by tomorrow in the shops, ready for the game on Friday night. And that shows they know how much of a stinkfest they've done. You know? Apparently Ramzani as well. He could have been done before Friday's game, but heard Almira changed the goalpost slightly. Watch this space on Ramzani. Maybe that was the player and not Lubicic. Instead of a third kit, they released £50 tickets, class club. Every morning it's worse. Well, it wasn't interesting for me, Rich. It's a lot of glazing. A lot of glazing of the ownerships. Hey ho, we're going to get into it anyway on the counterpoint next Monday for sure. But hey ho. Ramzani, yeah, it looks decent, yeah, for sure. Listen, we'll have to wait and see. Could it be Ramzani? We've had a couple of names mentioned as well. We've had a couple of names mentioned this morning that we'll chat on as well. There is obviously the one, Ronan Salai. Hungarian football, I've had this to say, and after speaking to a few people, the fact that he's done so well in his career, it looks like... yeah, exactly, Damar, you know the script. According to a report from Yorkshire Evening Post, Leeds United are linked with the move to Roland Salai. This was in Graham Smith's newsletter, and Hungarian football have said, honestly feel like he's too good for the Championship, could probably play for multiple Prem sides. It does seem like a difficult deal to get done, not least because, you know, even my man Andrea, better scouts than Leeds United, remember, with Andrea and Lockie, is another that was on one of the scouting reports. Just said like it's highly unlikely that we'll get that one done. Apparently he's wanted by that team in Turkey as well and teams that play in Europe. So it's probably going to be a difficult one for us to do. But it is in Graham Smith's report, his newsletter, about us potentially being interested in Ronan Salai. He's a right winger, can play as a 10 as well, played at Freiburg, represents the Hungarian national team as well, be a class signing at this level. Played for Apoel Nicosia, Palermo back in 2016, but currently resides at Freiburg. I think they paid around about 4.5 million euros for him. Versatility, because obviously can play as a right winger and a number 10. He's got great dribbling, vision and passing, shooting as well. Decent striker of the ball, known for his work rate and his aggressiveness. So yeah, he's one to watch. But like's been said, it'll probably be a very, very difficult deal for Leeds United to get done. If Leeds United are linked to him, you know, and it's serious, although I can't take anything serious at the moment because no one really knows what's going on. But yeah, if we are serious, you'd imagine other clubs higher up the pyramid might take looks and be like, oh, you know, that's probably one we should get a look at. So that's Ronan Salai. We've also seen has linked to Hannibal Mejberi. I don't know how you say his name, but Hannibal is the name that he goes by, obviously at Manchester United. Leeds and Burnley are keen on him, according to a decent source. Apparently he wants about 30 grand a week. Burnley are not interested at that price. However, Leeds could well take a look. Obviously, I think he grew up in France at the Paris Academy, similar to the other lad we were linked to yesterday. But he joined Manchester United from Monaco, spent time at their youth setup, has made his senior debut as well back in May 2021. Then went to Birmingham City on loan, came a regular in their side as well. And then was at Sevilla, where he was at with Victor Orta last season. I don't know what his game time was like out there, but can also play in the 10, I believe, as well. Hannibal from A-Team, more like, yeah. Hannibal Lecter. Listen, that's what that's from. That's the Hawkshead Death Moth from The Silence of the Lambs, so I won't mind a Hannibal. Decent football IQ, work rate, versatility as well. Playmaker, box-to-box midfielder, or a deep line creator. As many wings, many threads to his bow, not wings to his bow. I don't know what kind of minutes he got in Spain, but I mean, Victor Orta signing, yeah. Don't know if it's so much a good thing. Yeah, he played 6 times and started one game, so only played 190 minutes in total, 1.2. 5 games played in the Premier League. In the Championship, he got 38 games, started 21 and got 5 assists and 1 goal. Is it a little bit meh, potentially? Yeah, maybe. I'd accept Hannibal Lecter at that point, yeah, at this point. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah. Right, okay. So I have it on pretty reliable information, folks, that stuff about the shirt and all that sort of stuff is definitely true from where it's come from. And obviously I can't share that, but it's definitely true. They were expecting to launch today. Ready to work full days and all that jazz. And tomorrow for the get it sold out sort of stuff. But the club have pulled it. So we'll wait. It makes sense, though, because if you think about all the images that are coming out online, they're all there now. They're all pictured. I think my man Luke put an image out, didn't he, that had been taken online that's now not there. Do you know what I mean? There you go on the JD Sports website that's now not available. But, yeah. So... And now then it's not there anymore. So because I got sent that as well, which again is another image where it's like, well, where, you know what I mean? Where's that come from? It looks very much like an image you would see on a sort of release, isn't it? So yeah, don't buy it. Do not buy it. Hopefully, when I might have a look again when we sign some players, but I'm not surprised they've pulled it. Yeah, well, this is what I'm saying. They are shit at PR, and I'm sorry. It's their own fault. People can dislike me and stuff for that, but I know I won't get any favours with it. But I don't care. I'll only ever speak my truth on here, and my truth is, they've stunk up the joint in the space of 11 days. Think of your optimism. Pre-match Portsmouth to now. Yeah, Damar says, you know what's funny? They had to do another photo shoot because of all the players that have left. Bogle was in it. There you go. Yeah, Jack, I hear you, bro. It is what it is. Not giving... I don't care about it. Yeah. Well, exactly. Can you imagine how many people were in it? That's probably another reason why we need to get new mugshots over. It's an absolute shit show, innit? Let's be real. It is an absolute shit show. Like, imagine... Can you genuinely, though, think about this, right? You've seen the reaction to a lot of the posts. Can you imagine at 9 a.m. this morning if we'd got a thing saying, everyone, just to let you all know, I see why you said I don't know on that earlier, because you're pro 49ers. I get it. That's why you said it, Necromancer. I get it. There you go. So exactly. So I'm anti, you're pro right now. But you can't call it flip-flopping, because if they now, right, in 9 days, go and sign 5 players that are of unreal quality, we'll go, do you know what? They dealt with it terribly. Not happy with Gray, not happy with the PR, with the way that they lied to us, because that's what they've done. But they've rectified it by bringing me 5 quality players, and now we're ready for the season. It's not a flip-flop. It's not a flip-flop. It's what's worse is having an opinion and then sticking to that opinion at your own detriment, like doubling and tripling down on an opinion. That's the wrong. Because if they go get me 5 players of sufficient quality, then I'll go, do you know what? But some people will maintain an opinion on a manager, on a player, on an ownership group, and won't swayed from that. They won't swayed from that. We can see it already. You can see it on social media, on YouTube, everywhere you look. Just call it for what it is. Call a spade a spade. You're not all blind to what's going on right now. The manager's telling you as such. The manager's telling you as such. And saying, I've asked him since January. But he'll get the blame for that somehow. You know? Good, Rysel, I hope they do. But neither do you. So you wait and see. You wait and see as well. What mess? They shouldn't be a mess now. What do you mean? You're making things up now. You don't know anything. This is the point. It's not a flip-flop. It's not a flip-flop. I swear to God it's not. It's called changing your opinion. Of course you can flip and flop over certain... I'll tell you what's a flip-flop. Having an opinion one day and switching it. Like, so Sean won't mind me saying this. You were all there. Came on this show. In the comments, super chat, what will it take you to trust the 49ers? As though like I was like, oh, massively in the wrong, blah, blah, blah. 24 hours later, he's going, get him out. God, man. It's mad. Exactly. 100%. Imagine it came out yet, and then it was like, do you know what? It turns out Farker lied to you all, right? Imagine, am I going to sit there and go, and they showed like him saying, I don't want no players. I can't sit there and go, no, it's on the Niners. I'm going to go, Farker, you're a knob. Do you know what I mean? Okay. I wish I could be more balanced and have a mid to long term view. I wish I could genuinely, but I can't. I can't right now. Love all this because as soon as Leeds sign someone, you'll be nut hooking again. Obviously, man. You know. Yeah, true, Dumar. We can all have a laugh, though, innit, right? Yeah, exactly, Joel. You've just to comment on how it is until it isn't. They've done a poor job so far, and you can call them out for it. But if they sort it in the next days, we can praise them. 100%, Joel. You've hit the money on the head. But there's people maintaining their position throughout. And it's like, come on. Even people that come on my show that told me, and respect to them, they know, that have said, no, you're wrong, you don't, blah, 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 and then gone, do you know, actually, no, you might be right. Evidence of action change. Yeah. At the end of the day, it is a little less conversation, a little more action. When we see the action, all that aggravation and satisfaction in me, come on. Come on. Let's go. A bit of very good, mate. Very good. Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen. We've been linked to Hannibal. I'm not sure how true it is. We've been linked to your man, Ronan Salai. Again, would be a great pickup, but I feel like it might be out of our reach. Maybe the signing, Ramzani was supposed to be done. Maybe. Yeah, of course, Boss Nass. Yeah, true. This is true. But anyway, we move, don't we? Look, hopefully we'll see something, because if they're gonna get this kit launched, they're gonna have to do it with some positive news, aren't they? Because it looks like they've already said, hold up, wait a minute. So we might have some positive news before Friday, yeah? We might have some, and that's an own goal in itself, the fact they've had to probably stop the kit launch because of the optics. Imagine the comments on social media and stuff. So, hit the money on the head, is that what I said? It's hard, man, when you're doing loads, but yeah. Yeah, the optics would be stinking, wouldn't it? And everyone would be going, you're not getting my money, 100%. I think a large majority would say, you're not getting my money, mate, for them kits. Have a day off. Some will still buy it, and that's fine, but a lot of people would have had that reaction, like, how dare you, taking the piss, kind of thing. I felt it the other day when they sent me an email about golf stuff. I don't even play golf, but I wanted to chew my phone. Do you know what I mean? I wanted to set up golf to just not buy their stuff. Start golfing and then just not buy their things. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, that would be good, wouldn't it? That would be good. But the last play we did that with was Vernon and Eater, and that didn't go well. Damar says, I'm not even going to Ellen Road. Never mind buying merch, and Damar's a regular goer, you know. You know, he is, so there you go. I'd take Jade Stansfield, Marcus, 100%. But listen, folks, I've spoken long enough. I need to shoot. Please smash me a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Get your comments in. Hit that notification bell and all that jazz. And I'll speak to you later on. Actually, tonight, in fact, I'll be doing a live stream at 9:30 for Rutter replacements. So myself, Andrea and Lockie, the hit rate's on point. Myself, Andrea and Lockie at 9:30, I think, and hopefully we can maybe talk about some positive news that might have happened throughout the day. But yeah, 9:30, that'll be on. Thanks as always for watching the Just Joe Football Show. 49ers go sign some fecking players, right? Afternoon, Joe. Don't know what to make of that press conference. Hopefully I can't say you know what to make because, I just said what, but I gave you my thoughts on it. And hopefully see you tonight. Big up to you all. Enjoy the rest of your day. Sign some